How's it going? If you're returning, thanks for joining us again today. If you're new here, we're Dalinghaus Construction and we're a general contractor that specializes in foundation repairs. So today we're in the sunny city of Chino Hills, California, and we're at a complex of townhouses. So flip this camera around, you can see we're at a single building. It's 3 separate townhouses, and our crew is here to repair this structure's foundation. So the owner of this property reached out to a structural engineer to take a look at some of the glaringly obvious signs that this structure is moving. Not only are these buildings sinking or settling, but they're also moving laterally towards this slope, both behind and on the far side. Let's take a look at some of those signs real quick. So we're walking in front of this. I'll show you one of the very first signs when I parked and walked up. These doors were open, and this is the gas meters for this building. But the doors were open, and you can see a huge crack on this footing, along with some deterioration of the concrete. Before I cut over to some other footage from my real camera from inside the building showing some of the common signs, let's take a look at another one that I just walked by and hadn't noticed before. But look at these steps. Some huge cracks, separation going on, and this is visible throughout the back side of these properties. But inside we go.
Getting caught by the lonesome wind and the whistling around the corners, telling you they have let her in. Separation can now begin. Yes, it will follow the rain. I said, oh my friend, it will follow the rain. I said, oh my friend, it will follow the rain. Have you ever seen the far side of a mountain follow the sky as you travel through the valley, as you're speeding still far behind? To the valley where lovers climb, where the children...
Our project specialist, Joe, who is right here, this pretty guy right here, he worked alongside this engineer and they developed a repair plan for this structure. And that repair plan consists of both vertical helical piers that are going to go straight down, along with horizontal helical tiebacks. And those tiebacks are going to address the lateral movement that this building's experienced, and the vertical piers are going to address the settling that's taken place. Now, if I flip this around, you can see the whole backside. Here's some of the pier locations. They'll be installing 33 of those vertical piers and 10 of those helical tiebacks, those horizontal tiebacks. So the structure settled pretty significantly, but it varies in different parts of the building itself. So this side is only settled maybe 2-3 inches. That far side down there has settled as much as 7 inches. So our crews will be using these piers to attempt to lift and stabilize this structure. So that very far end, they're going to be attempting to lift the structure 6 inches, which is going to be pretty fun. If we hop into one of these pier locations, you can see this building has a pretty shallow footing, and there's some pretty crazy clay soils. Now look at the layers in this clay. It's heavily compacted, very, very compressed, and it's very hard. So it's pretty evident that this clay has gone through many, many, many rounds of expanding and expanding and expanding in the presence of moisture, and then shrinking and shrinking and shrinking when it dries out during our droughts, and that's what's creating these layers. Actually, I don't know if that's what's creating these layers, but I know that that's not good. Back to the footing, like I mentioned, it's pretty shallow footings, but they've excavated all the way underneath both edges of the footing. They've also started to chip away some of the footing and make a nice flat surface, because they're going to be mounting brackets for these piers right to that footing. So these guys have probably 10, maybe 11 more pier locations to break out and excavate and expose the footings. But let's hop into a time lapse real quick of that last pier location over here.
Real bad boy. I've got a ton of gravel in my shoe, world on my shoulder, a heart full of blues. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt. Been real bad.
All right, that's gonna wrap up our check-in for today out here in Chino Hills, California. Thank you for watching this far if you're still here. Tomorrow, our crew's gonna be back out here to break out the rest of the pier locations, and they're even gonna start installing one of these vertical helical piers here. Another thing tomorrow is we have a concrete contractor coming out here, and they're gonna be breaking out all of this concrete in the backyard. So that'll make things a little bit messy tomorrow, but we'll be able to clean it up real nice. If you aren't subscribed to us already, do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button. We have tons of new content coming up in the near future. We're even gonna continue documenting this project through completion. So we'll see the installation of the piers, we'll see them mount the brackets, we'll see them attempt to lift the structure, and then we'll see them install the helical tiebacks and lock this whole entire building into place and ensure that it doesn't settle or move laterally ever again in the future. Thanks, guys.